So, you want to master MidJourney? Well, you couldn't have picked a better time. With the launch of MidJourney V6, AI-generated images are all the craze right now. So sit back and relax while we evolve your skills from MidJourney novice into master. Let's go. To become a MidJourney master, we're going to need to cover some key concepts. First up is text prompting. Text prompting is just a fancy name for the words you type into MidJourney to generate an image. For those new to MidJourney, your interactions may look something like this. You're sitting there waiting for an idea to strike you when suddenly, yes, you've got it. An astronaut in space with a monkey. Now let's take a look. Just like you asked, you have 4 images of an astronaut and a monkey in space. Now, this may be all that you require, but chances are there will be some point in your MidJourney voyage where you'll want more control over the images you're creating. To do that, we're going to use a reliable 3S formula. First, we have the subject. This one is the easiest of the bunch. It's simply whatever it is you want to see generated. In our previous case, for example, this was an astronaut in space with a monkey. Easy enough, right? Now, next up, we have style. Style can drastically change your image output with just a single word. Let's look at an example. Using the same prompt from before, we added style in before the subject. So, for the first image, we entered cartoon, comma, astronaut in space with a monkey, and so on for each of the others. Look how different each of these styles are. You'd be surprised how often a style can be the secret sauce in your text prompt to produce what a subject alone just won't. Okay, great, 2 down. We now have style and subject. For our third S in the 3S formula, we have setting. Put simply, where do you want your image to take place? That's the setting. Let's take a look at another example here. Similar to our style example, I used the same prompt but added a setting to the end. So, the prompt entered to produce the first image would be an astronaut in space with a monkey, comma, nebula in the background. Same goes for the rest. Altering the setting of your image can really bring it to life. So there you have it, the 3-step formula. Now it certainly doesn't stop here. There are dozens of other prompts we can tack onto this, like material, composition, lighting, etc. However, AI art can be an imprecise thing, and you'll sometimes realize that keeping it simple can produce better results. Alright, well that's a wrap on text prompting, but before we move on, let's check out a few ways we can alter our initial prompt to produce some stunning imagery. Now that we got text prompting covered, we'll explore how to prompt using images or image prompting. Sometimes it can be difficult to describe the style or setting you want your subject to take place in. Well, they say an image is worth 1,000 words, so why can't it work for us here? Head over to your favorite search engine and search for your favorite artist. Next, we're going to find a picture that you love or you'd like to emulate and download it. Once you have it downloaded, head over to MidJourney. Before we begin prompting, we'll want to click the plus sign in the bottom left corner of the screen and upload the image that we just downloaded. Once the image has been uploaded, right-click on the image and choose Copy Link. Now that we have the link to our image, we can use it within our prompt. Paste our image link into the prompt followed by whatever style, subject, and setting you'd like to create. In my case, I want to create lily pads under a night sky using the Claude Monet art piece I downloaded for inspiration. As you can see, we get some beautiful lily pad images taking inspiration from the Claude Monet image. This last image is giving me an idea. Let's head back over to Google. Okay, so what is it I am doing here? I've downloaded Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night to use as reference. Meanwhile, I'm also going to use the link from the Claude Monet piece to create the Vincent van Monet. When your artwork needs a little inspiration, don't be afraid to use images as a reference. Cool, we've now covered both text and image prompting. These two key concepts alone will get you far, but there is one more topic we'll want to explore to unlock even more possibilities, and that will be parameters. We add parameters at the end of our prompts to alter things about the image. There are quite a few parameters to play with, but I'm going to show you my 3 favorite. First up, we have aspect ratio. There's going to be a time when the square image just isn't going to cut it. In those instances, we can use --AR, which stands for aspect ratio, followed by the ratio itself to control the dimensions of our images. But enough with the talking, let's just see it in action. So let's say we have our prompt where we want to create a Hogwarts-like castle. There's no doubt that a landscape view of the castle would add more to the environment than a simple square image. To do this, we add a --AR at the end of our prompt, followed by 16:9, which is the dimensions for a landscape image. As you can see, we now have a landscape image of a castle that would exist in the world of Harry Potter. Now, what if we wanted that image to fit a mobile format? We'd simply use a 9:16 aspect ratio instead. Now, before we move on, notice the forest that exists in each one of these images. What if I wanted there to be no forest? Well, that's where our next parameter comes in handy. Let's revisit our prior prompt. You can add multiple parameters at the end of a prompt. So to remove the forest, we're going to type in --no, followed by the subject we don't want in our image. In this case, no forest. Notice how it removed forest from each of our outputs. Pretty cool, right? Now onto our final parameter. Remember earlier when I said I was going to show you how to make your images look more like the original? We can do this using image weight. Image weight allows you to input a value between 0 and 2, with 0 being the least like the image and 2 being the most like it. Let's check out a live example. I found a picture of Hogwarts online, uploaded it to MidJourney, and copied the link into my prompt. Next, I'm going to use the same prompt from before with both the aspect ratio and image weight parameters. Let's talk this one over. In the upper left, you'll notice the picture I uploaded as reference. This was a picture of Hogwarts that I downloaded from the internet. Now, the other 3 images were created in MidJourney using different image weights. As you'll notice, the 0.25 took inspiration from the image, but mostly followed the prompt I gave it. The second image, at a 1 image weight, is a bit of a mix between the image I fed it and the prompt I gave it, a nice balance between the two. The third image, at an image weight of 2, ignores more of my prompt, favoring the image instead. So just imagine all the ways you can combine prompts and image weights to create amazing artwork. And that'll do it for parameters, which brings our video to an end here today. There is more to MidJourney, but mastering these key concepts we explored today will get you about 90% of the way there. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing, giving it a like, or my favorite, leaving me a comment. I'll be back soon with more. See y'all later.